Hello everyone, this is Bee of lifeisbeyeoutiful.com. I would like to share to you my first dose of vaccine journey here in Cebu last July 26, 2021. So enjoy and watch the whole video, guys. So what I did before I had my vaccine, at 10 a.m. I had my first meal. Then at 12:03 noon, I drank vitamins and supplements. Then at 12:20 noon, arrived at the UC Senior High facility. I registered through the website last June 21 under the A3 category because I am diabetic. Since then, I didn't receive any SMS informing me of my schedule. So I took my chance last July and told the staff at the registration area that I already registered under the A3 category but didn't get any text from them. So the first step of the vaccination process is you have to fill out the form. So at 12:25 noon, I got the form with the priority number printed on the paper. Then make sure, guys, you bring your own pen with you for the forms. Then after filling out the form, I transferred to a vacant seat near the chapel and waited there in prayer because I was so anxious at that time and so nervous. And also I did some reading about the do's and don'ts after the first dose of vaccine. Here are my thoughts on the facility that I went to at UC Senior High in J. Alcantara Street. It has a huge space, there's room to move around with proper ventilation. Everything was so organized and systematic. The ushers were very helpful in assisting and guiding everyone to move to the next step. And then the medical staff and volunteers are very courteous enough to answer some questions which really help ease the minds of, especially for those who are nervous like me, who just had my first vaccine. So the second step was I went to the registration corner. So at 1:47 my priority number was called, and then at 1:52 p.m. I was already at the counter and the staff asked for my ID. So I gave my SSS card. He verified my identification by asking some personal information. Then after that, he gave me a printed vaccination card which serves as a record of my vaccination. For the third step, screening, at 1:54 p.m. I moved to another table. I presented my form and my vaccination card to the medical staff, who asked for my medical history, allergies after she verified my identity. I also showed her my medical certificate and a copy of my doctor's prescription to support my A3 category. So during that time, she took my blood pressure and turned out I had a high BP because I was so nervous at the time. Next up, counseling. At 2:01 p.m., I sat down with the doctor. Then she verified my medical history and my doctor's prescription, which were attached in the form. Then the doctor gave me a thorough discussion on some helpful information regarding side effects, and then what to do after my first dose. Okay, what's listed are the probable side effects after vaccination. So mostly flu-like symptoms that you're going to feel after your first dose. Okay, right after counseling at 2:08 p.m. I waited for my turn to be vaccinated. So I took the time to fix myself, think of happy thoughts. At the same time, I was observing everyone in the facility. The medical staff and volunteers were very compliant when it comes to reminding everyone to observe proper safety and health protocols, like social distancing was properly observed and masks and shields were worn throughout the process. Step 5, vaccination. At 2:28 p.m. I had my first dose of SINOVAC. Nurse Mark verified my identity first, then did the whole procedure. The whole experience was so fast, and as you can see in the video, I was already calm at the time and was so ready to have my first dose of SINOVAC. So the pain of the injection was just like any ordinary thing that you feel in a split second. I felt a bit sore on the injection area though, but it was tolerable for a few seconds. Kalmaraan na lang.
Kalma lang. Ay lang pang-usap, okay? Okay, relax. Good. Kana, manang pakita. Kamay ha? Okay, we're done. Okay ka?
Kaya lang.
Until August 23 for your second dose ha?
Huli niya pa ko.
Sige, kung kasi mag-agian today ma'am, mag-agian for second dose, minus lang ato magpa-print ka sa card. Kung side effects na tayo, mo po yung atong ito, natural man na. Pating kaso ganing mo hila na ta, kung paano ipag-press sa tamon, manila, 4 hours, until mawala itong hila na pagin.
Ano siya ni Kaon?
Mga 5 minutes, sir.
Salamat! Step 6, Encoding. At 2:31 p.m., I went straight to the table where the staff was waiting, and then I submitted the form and vaccination card to him. Then he asked for my personal information for verification. After encoding all the information that he read from the form, he returned the said form and vaccination card except for my medical certificate and my doctor's prescription. They serve as a record that I was vaccinated in that facility. Step 7. I had my first monitoring post-vaccination at 2:39 p.m. I submitted the form and vaccination card for verification. Then I had my first vital signs checked by the staff, and she noticed that my BP was rather high. So I told her that I was perfectly fine, though I kept sneezing after the vaccination. Okay, for the last step, last monitoring post-vaccination. At 2:42 p.m., Nurse Cheska took my vital signs after verification. Then it turned out I had a normal heart rate and my BP lowered down a bit. She also asked me if I felt any discomfort or pain, which I didn't feel at all. I was only relieved at the time, and I felt so happy knowing I finally conquered my fears. So at 2:48 p.m., I was officially done with my first dose of vaccine, which took me 2 hours and 23 minutes in total. Not bad at all because there was quite a long line at the time at the facility, but everything was well managed. Okay, by the way, that's Nurse Cheska with me in the photo. She's actually the sister of my former advisory student, Samantha. Thank you, Cheska, and the rest of your team. You did a great job, and I hope you guys stay safe. So before I left the facility, I went straight to the chapel and say a little prayer of gratitude, thanking him for calming my fears and providing me comfort throughout the process. Then before I went home, I went to 7-Eleven and got myself a cone of ice cream because that's the first thing I asked the doctor before I had my vaccination, if it's okay to eat ice cream, and she said yes, it's pretty okay. So that's what I did. I had my sweetest reward ever, a cone of ice cream after the vaccination. So what are the side effects I've experienced after the vaccination? So after a few hours I got home, I kept sneezing, but there was no sign of clogged nose or any dripping. Then I felt so sleepy most of the times that I slept early. Then I had a huge appetite. I had a huge dinner at that time. Then the next day I woke up at 8 a.m. feeling so great, as if I had the best sleep ever. Then I still kept on sneezing, then feeling the drowsiness throughout the day. Then I always crave for something to eat. Such a huge appetite. It lasted me for 2 weeks, eating a lot, binging a lot. So guys, that's the whole experience I've had with my first dose of COVID vaccine last July 26. So for those who are still living in fear, you go get yourself vaccinated only when you're ready. Do your own research and ask for His guidance. Pray for it. The bottom line is we get vaccinated to get another layer of protection from the COVID virus. After you get vaccinated, still wear your mask, wash your hands, and practice social distancing. To the Cebu City Government, thank you so much, and to UC Senior High Facility Vaccination, medical and supporting staff, you guys were amazing and very organized. So that's bakuna. Life is beautiful when you do your part in fighting against the spread of COVID-19. Be safe, guys, and be healthy always.
What a wonderful world. What a wonderful world.